Hello guys, today I will give you a brief introduction about the movies in the Prohibition time and how they depicted this unique period in American history. Watching movies is now an indispensable way of entertainment. Movies works like mirror, which can not only reflect the era it depicts in the story, but also the era it lives. For example, this year's Best Picture, The Parasite, showed us that the gap between rich people and poor people are widening in South Korea in its story. Also, it showed the great progress the Korean movie industry have made in the past decades by winning this award. So today I am going to introduce you with several movies published during the Prohibition era and how they depict their era. My sharing is divided into two parts. The first is to introduce the reasons for the prohibition, and the second is to introduce two movies depicting this period. First, we need to figure out what is the prohibition era. In short, from 1920 to 1933, the US government set laws to prohibit people from drinking alcohol. You may be confused why drinking alcohol was prohibited. Let me give you some figures. In 1850, Americans consumed an average of 80 bottles of whiskey per person per year. That is 3 times as the 21st century's figure. So many people are addicted to alcohol that it became a controversial social problem, and the society were torn apart into two sides and started intense discussion. People who supported alcohol were European immigrants, liquor manufacturers, and workers. Some of them make liquor to gain profit. Some of them use liquor to temporarily escape from the painful real world. They think beer is liquor bread. But there are also people against the alcohol. They were housewives, factory owners, and wasps. Housewives were tired with their drunken husbands. Factory owners thought alcohol would decrease the efficiency of the workers. The society was torn apart, and neither part can defeat another. But two incidents happened that totally changed the balance of the game. Women were about to have the right to vote, and the widespread anti-German mood after the World War I made people also hate the German liquor manufacturers. As a result, the US government made the 18th Amendment and banned the manufacture, sale, or transportation of intoxicating liquors from 1920 to 1933. But people's desire for alcohol didn't disappear because of the prohibition law. Of the 115 films released between 1929 and 1931, 66% showed drinking. 75 of those films treated intoxication as humorous. Over 100,000 secret bars existed in New York City. Doctors and priests become popular professions because they can legally provide alcohol. People's overwhelmed desire needs a release point, and the absurd and contradictory reality also gives directors a wealth of creative resources. Let us go deep into two films of this time and see how they depict these contradictions. The first movie is The Great Gatsby. The story is simple. A young man raised from nobody After winning a big fortune, he started to pursue his true love. We can see from this picture that there is a very luxury party in his mansion. Just as Sarah Churchill said, the only way which Gatsby become wealthy overnight is because prohibition create a black market, allowing bootleggers like Gatsby and his partners to amass staggering quantities of money in a short time. They squandered, they had fun, they have no worries. These are what the new money class did in the Prohibition time. In Prohibition era, a lot of speakeasies emerged and caused unprecedented consequences. Before the Prohibition, people from different ethnicity groups, race groups, drank alcohol in different bars. But since all these bars were banned, people have to drink together in secret speakeasies. They had fun together, they had alcohol together, and alcohol broke the barrier between them. Jazz music also originated at this point. During the Prohibition period, the promotion of women's social status can also be reflected in the movies. Look at these flappers. Unlike traditional women, they have shorter hair, wear shorter dresses, and involved in shorter relationships. They have become pioneers at that time. Meanwhile, due to the development of industrialization, the invention of birth control measures, and washing machines, women can get rid of the heavy housework and have more time for themselves and find a job in the factory to feed themselves. The Prohibition period also witnessed development of the gangsters. According to Scott Fitzgerald, Prohibition is the midwife of American gangster. So the second movie I want to talk about is The Godfather. It is a very popular movie. It ranked second and third in IMDb movie list. People like it because it's different from the traditional narrative method of black and white binary opposition. It depicts the godfathers with blood and flesh. They will fight for family members, they will fight for commitment, and have their own code of conduct that they respect. In addition to that, gangsters achieved American dream in an unconventional way. They do not pursue individual heroism. Instead, they treasure the Sicily tradition. They seek the common promotion of the whole family, and they were even united with other families to do business. Secondly, the way of achieving this unique American dream is quite different from others, resulting to the crime and violence. Their value deeply influenced by the American culture and generations after them. Of course, movies sometimes reflect history wrongly. According to a national poll, 74% of the American public believe that Italian Americans have tied to the mob, but the actual number is quite small. Movies sometimes would also reinforce the stereotype or even create the stereotype. If you are interested in the movies depicting the Prohibition era, these are some recommendations for you. And it is a very good chance during these quarantine days to enjoy movies with the people you love. Thank you for listening.